What's going on, guys? I'm the Wizard, and today I'm finally getting some Titanfall gameplay up on my channel. I know a lot of you guys are really excited about this game that's coming out, I believe, March 11th on PC and Xbox One only. Sorry, PlayStation Nation, you guys get the short end of the deal once again. That's why it's smart to go with the Xbox One. My personal opinion. But so Titanfall, let's talk about it. Now, if you guys have been following my Twitter feed or some of my recent videos where I've talked about it, then you know what I'm thinking about this game going in. I'm skeptical. I don't think this will be the COD Killer, and I don't think it's going to be very popular after 6 months. I'll give it, come March. The reason I give it 6 months from March, because we're looking at, what are we looking at? Around October-ish, right? Call of Duty comes out in November. Depending what Sledgehammer comes up with, because Sledgehammer is doing Call of Duty this year, I think there'll be a big emphasis on that come October time, right around the 6-month period for Titanfall. Now, Titanfall, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a great break from Call of Duty. It's going to be great for the players that get bored of Call of Duty, switch over to Titanfall real quick, super refreshing, but then go back to Titanfall. So I'm going to talk about some things that immediately seem positive about this, because there really aren't many negatives about the game. I'm just thinking, almost playing devil's advocate, about what the community's going to, or how the community's going to react to this game. But let's jump into some things that you're seeing on screen right now. So before you even jump into gameplay in the beta, you have to go through basic training, which I think they did a great job with just doing all this. They didn't really go over controls. You see me kicking a lot there because I'm used to sliding or diving in Call of Duty. So the controls are a little different. It's more of the default control layout for Call of Duty with B as your crouch button. There is no prone, which is another interesting thing. But what I was just doing, it reminded me very much of Portal and Mirror's Edge, which two very different games. But just the color scheme of that training facility reminded me of Portal, and then the wall running and parkour style stuff reminded me very much of Mirror's Edge. And all of that is incorporated into the gameplay. That's a really cool feature of Titanfall, is the free run aspect. You see me here picking a burn card, which is like your special ability for that life. So you gotta be really careful what you pick. And what I picked a, I guess you could call it like a supercharged version of the assault rifle I'm using, which is the only assault rifle you're given. You're also, the other primary weapons that you can choose from are an SMG, a sniper that I'm not a big fan of, a shotgun, which I don't seem to do well with, but everyone else kills me really quickly with it. Which is always the case. And then you can get the smart pistol, which is a really unique weapon that, like, as you get close to people, it auto locks onto them, depending how many shots it'll take to kill them. And regardless of where you're looking, you just press the trigger and the bullets go everywhere, and they usually die within one shot, or one squeeze of the trigger. Now, I think which would be a really cool idea, or sort of a game design aspect, I don't know. But this is a very futuristic game, right? This is very futuristic. You get robots. It's like you're playing Pacific Rim meets Transformers meets Call of Duty, right? So much stuff going on. It's really hectic. But once people learn the game, like people already are, once they hit level 14, which is the max in the beta, I hit that pretty quickly, it slows down a bit. People know what they're doing. Which I think makes the game much more enjoyable and playable once people slow it down a little bit and people aren't just shooting missiles and rockets every which way. So I think this game, once it hits the masses, will truly develop into a very good shooter, but I still don't think it's going to be the COD Killer. I don't see any competitive aspect to it, but like I was talking about with the, I'll talk about that later. But like I was talking about with the design of this game, and like the game flow, I guess you could call it, how the game plays, it's different from Call of Duty, obviously. I know that's what you guys are used to. That's probably what you're subscribed to my channel for. It's it's different. It plays very differently because of the AI minions or grunts, whatever they're called, and the Titans obviously play a huge role in this game, as you could probably imagine. But what I think would have been awesome is if these people weren't or didn't leave Infinity Ward or Activision or EA, whatever they came from. Because truly, I think this is what Black Ops 2 was meant to be. If this was a Call of Duty game, I think people would go nuts. This would definitely be the #1 game out there right now. Black Ops 2, if you're not familiar with the Call of Duty franchise, was supposed to be a futuristic military shooter, but it didn't really seem to be that futuristic. Yeah, they had a couple weapons you could see, you could track people, see through walls, that sort of thing. But really, there was no futuristic aspect. And because the makers of past Call of Duty games have worked on this game and have formed Respawn Entertainment, if they made this as a Black Ops 2, oh my goodness, it would be a fantastic year for Call of Duty. But instead, Call of Duty has kind of fallen off the wagon. They've brought in Sledgehammer to make a game full-time for 2014. And that's what I was talking about earlier. It's 6 months. Sledgehammer is going to be prepping the release of Call of Duty, whatever they're going to call it. Who knows? We're not sure yet. Whether it's a new Modern Warfare, Black Ops 3, we'll find out later. But that's Call of Duty's chance to refresh the series. And meanwhile, the past people have gone on to make this game, but I don't think it's at the point yet where the community is ready to accept this as the new #1 game in the online gaming community. Like I said earlier, there aren't really any problems with this, but I think a huge part of Call of Duty's success is the competitive side to it, as well as the pick up and play style of gameplay to it as well. Titanfall, there's a lot that you gotta work on. I'm still not very good at climbing buildings. As you see there, I kind of just fell down this one. There's a lot of different variables when you're playing Titanfall with jumping and your different abilities like cloaking, stim, which is like just really like a marathon almost to compare it to Call of Duty. There are no perks, there are no kill streaks. You just get your Titans and you duke it out. It's very simple. But there's no competitive side to it. But because there's so much to learn, I don't think as many people will likely just pick it up, and people will obviously enjoy it like I did. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having a blast playing it. But it, like Fig Going said, it takes a lot out of you. That's actually true. It feels like it's a really intense game, and it demands a lot of attention because a lot's going on. But I think the mix of AI and the AI players and the AI Titans, it doesn't make a great mix for competitive, which is a huge reason why Call of Duty is where it is right now. And just a side note, when you're on a team, you stay on that team until you leave the lobby, which is another really interesting thing. But I'll have more Titanfall videos coming out in the next week or so leading up to the launch. And if you guys really, truly think I should get the game, tell me in the comments down below. I'll see what I can do about that, just for you guys, because I know how much what I do is for you, and I think you guys can understand that as well. So make sure to drop a like on this video, comment if you think I should get Titanfall, and also, what do you think of the beta if you've played it already, and do you think it will be the Call of Duty Killer? Make sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter @AustierWizard. All the links are in the description, and until next time, Wizard out.